So I just called Chase, and I thought I was recording, and I wasn't. So in the beginning, where I was putting in the numbers and all that kind of stuff, and I was saying a bunch of stuff about what I was gonna do, I didn't have the record button pressed. And then when the rep got on the phone, I asked her, "Hey, do you mind if I record this call for training purposes as well?" And she said, "No, we can't do that. If you're recording the call, I am going to have to disconnect." So as I went to click away from the recording and to hit stop recording on my software, I noticed that it said start recording, and I'm like, oh, I was never recording it to begin with. So I guess it worked out very well for Chase anyway. So that's what happened. That's what happened. All right. So the reason why I called Chase is I wanted to ask them if they could do any kind of thing, if they had any kind of promotional offer or any kind of thing that they could help me with before I go ahead and execute this. I explained to her basically what I explained in the last video about balance transfer, was that, hey, I have this balance on my card. I'm going to start paying it off pretty aggressively here in a few months. I got something in the mail from another bank. I can do a balance transfer. It saves me quite a bit of money. That makes it worth it for me. I wanted to give you a call first and see if you had any promotional offers, or you could lower the APR, or whatever, anything possible. And they didn't have anything. She said, "Oh, unfortunately for existing balances, that's not something that we do." So I didn't get anything out of it, but it was about a 2 or 3 minute phone call after a 5 minute waiting on hold and pressing buttons. Probably wasn't even that long. Probably exaggerating a little bit on the time. But it's worth it. It's worth it. And I told her, if anything comes up in the next 2 or 3 months, let me know. Put a notice on my account. And I'll actually, I'll probably call again maybe next month or 2 months from now before I execute a balance transfer to see if anything has popped up. Who knows? You never know. It's a very short call to the bank. The customer service rep has an incentive to keep the balance with the bank. So they may have something, they might want to do something to make it more enticing to stay, but you never know unless you try, and it's not always going to work out. You're not always going to get what you want when you call and when you ask for it, but at least you tried, and that's better than it's better than not trying and wishing you had tried. So that's what happened. That's it for today. This is probably the shortest video in all the series. What you can do if you're paying down a card and if you've been following the system, right, and you know that you're going to be paying down these cards pretty quickly or paying down debts pretty quickly, then you can call the bank from a position of power and say, "Hey, this is what's happening. This is where I'm at. I don't want to, switch around or take the business away from you. So what do you have for me?" It's not always going to work, but it's worth the time, and it's fun, and you get to learn something while you're doing it. That's it. I hope you enjoyed.